Good evening, YouTubers. Tsquare Talks. So hope everybody's having a great night on this Thursday and Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to anybody that's watching this that is a veteran. I know we have a lot of veterans that do subscribe to the channel, and for that, thank you very much. But whether or not you're a veteran, thank you for subscribing to the channel. But I had to say it, Happy Veterans Day. I had a lot of people tell me that. A lot of you guys know I am retired Navy, so since so many people told me, I've got to pass it on to you guys. I hope everybody's having a great night. Tonight we're going to talk about the everything bubble and kind of how it really probably helped a lot of the people in my subscriber base, those of you guys that watch the channel. We did really well on gold today. We did really well on silver today. Shiba did really well. Whether you're not you're in the stock market, you probably did really well today. A lot of stocks ended up doing well. I currently am not in any stocks. I hold 0 stocks right now. I am into cryptos, specifically my big one being Shiba, and then also, you guys know, gold and silver, and a few other things. But what I wanted to talk about specifically tonight is not just about the everything bubble, is what I'm going to call it, and what a lot of people are calling it, but kind of just kind of go over a sum of everything that did go up today, and why I think it's going to keep going up, and how you might be able to kind of possibly protect yourself against these rising prices. Now, I know some things you're not going to be able to go out and stock up on. You're not going to be able to go out and probably stockpile gasoline or heating oil. If you use firewood, I guess you can buy some extra firewood. Still, if you haven't had winter come yet, for most northern states, they are already starting to get snow. So if you haven't stocked up on that, it may be too late. One of the things I am kind of worried about is a lot of shortages come this winter, and the shortages will not just be because of the pandemic and what's going on, but we'll also see shortages because of the huge amounts of money that has been printed and is out there in circulation now, and it's causing, quite frankly, a lot of people to buy up resources, and some people now are starting to buy up extra. I plan on doing a video tomorrow or the beginning of next week kind of about what hoarding is. There's a difference of opinions right now going around the internet on what hoarding is. Our grandparents believed in saving, stockpiling enough stuff to get through the winter. It's not really hoarding, in my opinion, if you want to make sure you have enough stuff to make it through the winter on stuff that you use every day. Maybe some people in the comments and in our community go maybe a little step further, and we have a little bit more than enough to use for the winter. Maybe we have enough for us for the winter and for our loved ones for the winter, maybe even part of the summer. But the truth is, with everything going up, it's inevitable that prices on literally every single category that you buy is probably going to go up over the next 12 to 24 months. With that being said, we're going to take a look at what happened today and some of the prices that have gone up today and how some of that benefited us. And then we're going to talk a little bit on kind of what kind of items you might be able to purchase and could potentially save you some money in the long run. This channel is not financial advice. I do share with you guys what I'm investing in, but it's not financial advice, should not be taken as such. Any type of investment comes with risks, and therefore it's recommended that everybody does their own homework and maybe, seek professional advice if you believe there is even such a thing anymore as professional advice. I say that with a smile because, pay your license fees to the state, and you can become a professional. But with that being said, I've taken a lot of advice from Reddit, Wall Street Bets people. I've listened to what they do, and I've utilized some of that, and I've tweaked some of it in my own direction. Sometimes The investments have paid off. Sometimes they haven't. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the results. And with that being said, let's jump over and get the show started. I just have to put that little disclaimer in there, especially because we're going to be talking about a couple big investments tonight that I think are going to do pretty well in the long run. So let's get started. As always, I like to start out by thanking the subscribers that are already subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys so much. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and follow us. Hit that thumbs up button on this video if you guys do enjoy the video. But definitely hit that subscribe button. Leave me comments. I love reading y'all's comments. With that being said, if you are subscribed already or if you have not yet, make sure you check out all of our great videos. We try to post videos 5 a week. So Monday through Friday, I try to post a video up. Sometimes they are live videos. Sometimes they are pre-made videos. It all depends how my week's looking, what I'm doing. I do a lot of different types of videos, whether that's coins, whether that's what I'm investing in, prepping, homesteading, farming, coin hunting, cooking, so many different things. So definitely hit that subscribe button and check out all of that. Now, we're going to jump start right off the day today with what happened in silver. Silver had awesome gains. I was super excited over the last 2 days. You can see I'm going to say enormous gains, really. We started out at 24.20 yesterday at New Day, and now it's currently sitting at 25.20. So that essentially is roughly a 4% jump in your investment with coins. Now, I know some people out there will make the statement, yeah, but it still don't cover the premiums. I'm not going to lie. It may not cover the premiums. However, I have said this time and time again, from my experience, I've never had a hard time getting my premiums back out unless it's on a kind of a crazy item, like, you know, you bought something off someone and it was just astronomical. I mean, I do look for lower premium deals. I do a lot of my purchases through Universal Coin and Bullion, amongst other companies. However, I do play their videos a lot. As you can see, I put up 2 this week, 1 at the beginning of the week, and 1 yesterday. And as you can see, these are all different package openings. I had a playlist from another company, but once I only want to keep 1 gold and silver bullion company as my main playlist, and that's them right now. It's Universal Coin and Bullion out of Beaumont, Texas. They have what I believe to be the best deals. And low premiums, essentially, because everywhere you look right now, premiums are going up. And I think a lot of it has to do with people realize what's going to happen. We've had an asset that, when you really think about it, hasn't done much in the last 12 months. Over the last 12 months, it's gone up only 3.71% or 90 cents. And literally almost all of that was done because of what happened in the last 2 days. So we've had an asset class that really has been kind of behind the scenes, hasn't made any big moves, and I really think, in my personal opinion, that we are going to continue to see some big moves start to break down as the price starts to climb. Now, I know somebody out there could make the comment, you've thought that for a little while. You're right. We don't know how long it's going to take before silver really goes crazy, and a lot of that has to do with the paper short manipulation. For those of you that don't know, if you short silver, you can essentially borrow silver and you'll have to pay it back later, or paper contracts, and essentially, if there's always a bigger player that's willing to say, hey, you know, we'll short more silver. Hey, we'll short more. I mean, they can short infinite amounts. But what's happening is they're printing more money. They're devaluing the dollar. Almost all commodities are going up in price. We're not really seeing gold and silver go up that drastically like everything else. I mean, think about your gas. Your gas was probably $1 cheaper a year ago. I mean, you're talking, you know, easily 30% cheaper. your food was probably 20 to 30% cheaper. That's just to name a few. There's been some commodities that have been off the charts with inflation, even though they're going to try to tell you it's not inflation, it's temporary, it's businesses trying to manipulate the system, it's people hoarding, it's a bad storm that caused less of the product, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. What they're not going to do is admit that it's inflation. You're not going to hear that until it's too late, because inflation is just transitory. That's the term that they've been putting on this pretty much from day one. But the truth of the matter is we're going to see a whole lot more transitory inflation. We're going to see prices keep going up. And, you know, every now and then I do see a comment that will disagree with this. But I think in the end, you hear less and less of these people as the price continues to go up. Moving on to take a look at gold. What happened in gold today? Started out at $1,850. And closing out at $1,860. So we're only talking a $10 jump in that. However, if you looked at it yesterday, even yesterday it was trading at $1,825, and compare that to today, $1,860. So we're seeing a lot of gains start to form up in these. Will it be temporary? As you can see on the gold chart, I really like this chart because you can see the red, how it had that huge jump, and then it started coming down. A lot of people wanted to sell, but it couldn't stay down for too long, because as soon as the overseas markets open back up, we all know countries like China, Russia, they are buying up gold and silver because they know what's coming. They know how things are playing out. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk a little bit about is what happened in the Dow Jones today. Dow Jones today, it did lose 158 points, or down about 0.5%. Basically, you know, you've got Tesla kind of talking about, I guess from my understanding, I haven't checked this yet, I read much about this, but I guess he sold a bunch of stock, which did drop Tesla stock. Kind of a good jump today, about $100 altogether over the last day or two. So that was kind of a light pullback. However, you know, this is still not anything that I would be super concerned about in my personal opinion. What concerns me the most about this is 35,921 points. It's still up there at a pretty big high. If you come back, kind of zoom out, you can see that we are kind of at a high. I do expect, I've talked to a few people about this too, I expect we're going to continue to see higher highs, literally, but it's not just going to be on anything particular. It's going to be on everything as inflation continues. So I dislike saying that I think the stock market can go higher, because honestly, I really believe the stock market is due for a major correction that's going to devastate a lot of people. However, you know, the same thing can kind of be said for other things like cryptos. You never know how some of this can play out. It's how long will they be able to keep inflating this bubble? And I think everybody knows it. I think almost everybody senses, man, how much higher can the stock market go? How much higher can the real estate market go? How much higher can cryptos go? When it comes, it's going to come fast. That's why one of the things that I focus on, I like to get into stuff when I think it's cheap. And if I have an opportunity to sell it and make a nice little profit, then I do that a lot of the time. And we're going to talk about that in a couple slides away. The next thing that we're going to talk about, the Nasdaq. Nasdaq did really good today, going up about 0.5%. It did close 81 points higher, basically closing the day at 15,700 points. There again, you know, when you look at this, we're pretty much at like an all-time high. All-time highs keep happening over and over and over again, and they're going to keep happening until they don't. Like I said, I still don't think these all-time highs can last forever. I think it's going to give sooner or later. You've got company stock that is really insanely priced compared to its PE ratios. You know, you've got a lot of speculation out there of, well, we're going to have flying cars and all of a sudden everybody wants to sink their money into it. We're going to have a Green New Deal where everybody's going to have electric cars. Everybody wants to put their money into it. At some point, they're going to realize that the grid that we have here in the United States, I can't talk about other countries' grids because I don't know how they are set up, but I am an electrician, so I think I'm pretty qualified to talk about this category. Our grid can barely handle hot summer days without having blackouts. It can barely handle cold winters where everybody turns on their heating system without having blackouts or power outages. You all heard about the freeze and how a lot of stuff shut down this past winter here in Texas. You guys heard about the rolling blackouts in California and New York. Do you really think that if everybody got an electric car, that this grid, the way it's set up right now, would be able to sustain that? You would have electric prices going through the roof. People wouldn't be able to afford it. It would only crash the system more. And then on top of that, it would just basically destroy transportation of food across the country. People just don't think. A lot of these people that make these laws, I sometimes feel that they put these laws in place without thinking about the long-term effects that the law can have. You know, yeah, going green would probably be great. If we could all go off solar and wind and turbine, that's great. That's great. But think about the problems that this would cause across the board. You know, yes, maybe our air quality would be a little bit better, but would we be able to sustain the lifestyle that we live? So I think a lot of people don't realize this, and we're going to see what happens. I think a good diversification of our energy sources is the key. I think that's the important factor that they should be looking at. Moving on, we're going to take a look at crypto. Crypto today did, really well. A lot of stuff ended up, as you can see, pretty much all green a ways down. In fact, as I look down, there's not many out of the top 50. There's only 2 that had a small amount of red in them. So we did see a great day with cryptos. Shiba Inu, which is one of my top picks right now, that I have been putting a lot because I think Robinhood will eventually have to list it. And when they list it, I think we'll see big gains. I think, when I Googled how many, I don't know if this is accurate. I Googled the number. It said basically Robinhood has 21 million people that use Robinhood. I asked a friend what he thought about that today. He said, everybody I talk to, everybody I know, everybody on Facebook, they're all using Robinhood. Think about what that would do on these coins if basically even just the 21 million people got in. To kind of talk about what I think that would do, I'm actually going to pull up a calculator so you guys can kind of see and just kind of think about it a little bit yourself. So with calculated supply, that's how many of these coins are in circulation right now. For those of you that don't know, there is 549.1 trillion. Now, with that being said, you might hear, there's a gazillion. There's not a gazillion because whenever coins get burnt, they're basically deleted from the system and there's no longer access to them. So right now, there's only 549 trillion coins that move around. You sell some, maybe I buy some, maybe I sell some to somebody else. So that number is an extremely big number. And that number didn't start out that size. It started out a whole lot bigger. Now, over time, a lot of these coins are being burnt through different ways. They're being burnt by renaming NFTs. They're being burnt by purchasing NFTs. They're being burnt by basically individuals that just think, how high can it really, if we burn some, donate them, get rid of them, essentially it makes everybody else's a little bit valuable. Now, right now, what I am typing in is 549 trillion, which is a insane amount. So this is the number right here. We got millions, billions, trillions. But just out of curiosity, I wanted to see if we've got 21 million Robinhood users. Let's divide that by 21 million Robinhood users. and see what number we have. So if all the coins, did I have an extra zero in there? Let me see here. Let me clear that out, actually. I might have done that wrong. If all the coins were distributed evenly, which I don't think they would be, because some of us are just going to be more, what's the word, dedicated, or more with a positive bullish outlook on the coin. I believe it's going to keep going up. I hold a large stake in Shiba now, probably way more than I should have put. Millions, billions, trillions. Okay. But we're going to divide that by the 21 million. I just want to see what number we get again. By the 21 million that are out there. That only gives 26 million coins. That's crazy because actually I didn't get that number earlier when I looked at it. I actually got a little bit of a lower number. How did I get that? Let's see here. 26 million. I'm making sure that I got all my decimals in the right spot when I calculated that. I mean, if everybody held 26 million, it should have been a lower number, or at least when I calculated out earlier. But if everybody held the coins equally, but here's the thing, that 21 million is based only off Robinhood. And that's not even counting basically the movement that we've been seeing. We've been seeing, as you can see right here today, the volume. I'm going to minimize that for a bit. You can see today's volume, just today's volume alone was 5.7 billion. So essentially a sixth of all the coins in circulation have actually changed hands in the last 24 hours. Now, some of that is people trying to trade up their position. And what I mean by that is some people will actually try to catch these peaks and dips and essentially maybe sell up here and then try to buy back down here. You can't time the market really. But I believe as this continues to grow, the amount of people that and the amount of coins you get right now for your money, I'm a firm believer in it. Like I said, this is not financial advice. This is just my thoughts. I've had some of my friends tell me that, well, you can't really say that because Shiba is not it's not really a, what's the term? There's no real use for it. And I can understand to a certain point, but I'll also say there's no real use for any crypto outside of a speculation. I mean, even Bitcoin, yes, you can pay. Well, you can pay with Shiba. If someone's willing to accept Shiba, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what you pay in because, I mean, you could pay me for anything you want in Shiba coin. You could pay me for anything you want in Peacock coin and Bitcoin, whatever. Because at the end of the day, I can just turn around and trade the Bitcoin or the Shiba coin or the Peacock coin into another type of coin or just sell it and get my US dollars back out of it. So really, I think what this is whether or not it's a hype coin or a meme coin, as some people like to call it, I don't think that's really going to matter. I think what's going to be important to play here is as people continue to see the prices going up on a lot of this stuff, they're going to want to invest money. I've heard a lot of people more recently say, I've been thinking about getting into cryptos, but I just couldn't because I don't really know much about it. I think when Robinhood introduces it on its platform, it's going to open up the door. And the other thing to really consider is this 549 trillion is not the number we started at. That number does get smaller and smaller over time. Now, I know the idea of someone just burning their tokens just to get rid of some out of circulation sounds crazy in a way, because it sounded crazy to me at first. I was like, so let me see if I get this right. I could basically take a $100 bill and say, I'm going to burn it and essentially make the other $100 bills a little stronger. that's to a point. That is true. That is what happens. However, they're still mass producing dollar bills. They're still mass producing money. The Federal Reserve is fired up their printing presses like crazy right now. With something like Shiba coin or Bitcoin, there's a finite amount of it. Now, with Bitcoin, it's a whole lot less. There's only 21 million. But the problem with 21 million is you're not going to even, the average person's not even going to hold a whole Bitcoin. They might hold a partial of a Bitcoin, but, you're talking 21 million coins and it's the number one crypto. You're talking basically $65,000 a Bitcoin. Do you really think a Bitcoin at 65, there's that many people that can afford a full Bitcoin? Well, here's what's going to happen. As Shiba, in my opinion, gains traction, more people want to get into it. I think that could drive the price up even more because people will believe, well, maybe Shiba will be the next Bitcoin. And here's the thing. I don't think Shiba will be the next Bitcoin in terms of one Shiba coin for $65,000. However, if Shiba just goes to a penny, it's 5 times the market cap of Bitcoin because of the sheer amount of coins. Now, over time, like I said, there will be less and less coins out there. And as that happens, I think that's going to increase more people to get in. It's going to drive the price up. That's why I hold it. But back to what I started out saying, pretty much everything right now is going up as we print money. I was actually about ready to jump over to show you guys something else. But before we do that, I kind of wanted to show you guys another example of, this was a newer example that just came out. This is about the 100 drug shortage, hundreds of drugs that the FDA currently is on the shortage list, and how it could impact you. Nothing that I take for medicine is on this list, but there are a lot of medicines. If anybody's interested, they can look this up, see the whole list, and see. All you got to do is currently in shortage. There's a little link right here. It's in dark blue. I don't know if you guys can really make it out on here. And you can click this, and then you just type in your drug and see if there's a shortage on it. However, this is because prices are just getting more. This is because a lot of this is because employee shortages, lockdowns, everything going on. I know we're not in lockdowns here in the U.S. anymore. A lot of places are opening up, but they still got a lot of restrictions in place. You've got your restrictions. That's why we got the backlog of the tankers. Everybody's heard now about the tankers that are off the coast of California and probably pretty much all over. But it's not only that. You're also seeing it now in grocery stores. A lot of stuff. They actually break down all the different reasons why you're going to see more shortages with supply chain issues. Nobody wants to blame this on inflation. They want to blame it on shortages. But ultimately, when you think about it, what causes a shortage? It's simple supply and demand. If there's more money out there, people go to spend that money. That money gets spent. They buy stuff. They produce a shortage. Now you compound that on a lot of people not working. And then you start really seeing you've got less product being made, which would naturally cause the prices to go up. You've got people buying more because they're afraid they're not going to have what they need when they go to the store next time. A lot of different factors at play. Some of y'all saw my video that I put up about a week ago where China is warning. They did an emergency warning. China warned all their citizens to stock up. If you haven't seen that video, that is on my playlist from only a few videos back. So there's a lot of factors at play here that people just aren't realizing. That's why I've said from the get-go, you should possibly be stocking up on food for the winter. Stock up on stuff you use every day. If you need some bottled water, buy a little extra when you go. If you use bottled water regularly. If maybe you just like K-Cups for your Kroger, buy a little bit extra. If you like canned soup, buy a few cans extra. Realistically, these canned goods and stuff is going to continue going up in this everything bubble. And at a certain point, you'll just make money by saving money, essentially. I actually read an article the other day. Taco Bell sauce was actually in shortage. The only reason I had this, I got a few tacos. I know someone out there is going to say, that's not good for your diabetes, Taco Bell. But even taco sauces at Taco Bell, they had a shortage on that. Aluminum shortages, that's going to lead on to aluminum cans. That's going to lead on to soda cans. They're having glass shortage now. I actually had a picture. I took a picture. I haven't used it yet. I don't think I used it on any of the videos yet, where now they're saying that it's glass, aluminum, and plastic shortages. So we're having shortages on all three. Well, essentially, that's every piece of food you buy almost comes in one of those three. I guess you might get food in cardboard. I mean, cereal comes in cardboard, but it comes in a plastic bag. I guess Jell-O, you can get Jell-O with paper. I mean, there are some products that are packed in paper, but literally you're taking a huge chunk by just those items, knocking out glass, plastic, and aluminum. So with that being said, we are going to wrap up tonight. I thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys took something away from this about the shortages that are coming. That way you can kind of be a little prepared for this. If you guys enjoyed the show, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Help the channel out. We are trying to grow the channel. And with that being said, I will see you guys again tomorrow night. I'd like to do a video tomorrow night about hoarding, but it may not get up by tomorrow night. It may be in the beginning of next week. So we will see how that plays out. I thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and comment. You guys have a great night. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.